Welcome to the Fit Femme Project Alignment Podcast. It is here that we cultivate and gather all who have been through it in fitness, relationships, careers, lifestyle changes, and unforgettable crucial life pivots trying to achieve their most sovereign selves. We're here to provide you with thought-provoking, detailed stories and information from truly fascinating men and women from all walks of life, professions, generations, and modern-day sagas who speak to their rawest, darkest moments that made them the strong, decisive, humble, helpful, healing people that they are today. We ask them to hold nothing back because life is a multi-dimensional pursuit to be stronger, healthier, and more aligned mentally, emotionally, and physically. Let's go. Happy hump day, everybody. Welcome back to this week's Minisode, I will say. I'm feeling good. It's good. It's the middle of the day. Hopefully my cats are asleep, so they don't bother me that much this time. Although I'm pretty sure Walter is a great little addition to our little podcast, because who doesn't love cats, right? Anyway, so this past weekend was actually really good. It was Mark's birthday. The band turned 36, and we had a really fun weekend. So on Friday, we went to a concert at the Ryman. It was Killer Mike. I have no idea who that was, but it was like a smaller time rap guy who did some collabs with some famous people or whatever, but he had nobody else to go with, so he picked me. But it actually ended up being really fun and really cool. I'd never heard any of his music, which is not uncommon for me. But it was at the Ryman Auditorium. For those of you who don't know that venue, it's a church turned venue, obviously. But so it looks like a church, and it's you can almost always get a pretty good seat there, like view wise. So we were up in the balcony, and then the balcony is really close to the stage too, which is really cool. So you feel like you're extra close. And a lot of his setup was like church, and in between some of his songs, he was like preaching. He's a black guy, right? He was preaching like a Pentecostal preacher, and that is how I grew up. It was such a throwback for me because I grew up in a church where my family, we were the only white people. So it was like, hallelujah, hallelujah. And like the way he was like, preaching, if you will, and he was talking about some stuff from his past and the things he was grateful for. It was so cool. And that's kind of what sold me was, it's just a throwback to the kind of church that I grew up in. But so that was Friday, and then Saturday we had his big pool party, which I was so worried about because it was set to rain all day long. But there was one source that said it was going to open up in the afternoon. So the morning came and it was pouring rain. I'm like, this is so lame. It's supposed to be a fun Hawaiian beach party theme. And I told everybody, I was like, we have an indoor option. Obviously, we'll have fun no matter what. And my God, the clouds literally parted. And as soon as people started showing up, the sun came out. It was hot. So we laid in the pool. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, so that was a really fun weekend. His birthday was actually on Sunday, not yesterday, today's Tuesday for me. It was actually on Sunday, so we went to he loves going to the Spasmatics, which is a cover band here, and he had to sing himself happy birthday on stage. I was like, babe, if you go, they're going to make you do that. And one of his friends told the band members who they know personally that it was his birthday, so they forced him on stage to sing himself happy birthday. And I would never do that in my wildest dreams, even though I'm a decent singer. But under pressure, doesn't sound like it. I need the notes in front of me to sound all right. But yeah, so today I am feeling really motivated. So I really wanted to talk about that for you guys. I know last week was about self-care, right? I'm pretty sure it was, right? Because I was having a rough week. I did go to the chiropractor. Remember, I threw out my back. So I went to the chiropractor on Thursday. Whew, my wallet did not like it, but he did some extra stuff. He did the, what do you call it? Dry needling. And he did the stem with it or something like that. I don't know. It was one of those two things. I couldn't see because it was on my back. But he put the needles in. And I should know this stuff. Whatever. But he started that electric pulse. And like for 10 minutes, I felt like I was like jerking to the side. I was like, is this... Like, I've had it done before, but it was like at a high level. And then he just straightened me back out. And, oh, man, I felt so good. I felt like Gumby. And I went on a walk after, which if you ever go to the chiropractor and or get a massage, always go on a nice walk after, because that really helps stabilize what they did and help put back into place, and helps what the massage and chiropractor did last a little longer, because we're not perfect. So little insider tip for you guys. But yeah, so I went to the chiropractor after way too long of not going, and my goals ever since I could remember was to always make my health, not health and fitness or whatever, my health in general, a priority, no matter I guess the cost, or just like no matter what. So if it ever came to an expensive chiropractor bill or that gym membership, I generally would not sweat it regardless. I made it into my budget, if you will. And that was that was important for me, because I understood my overall goal. My agenda for my life was to remain healthy, to be on my feet for as long as possible, to be, laughing and loving, to like kick the bucket. I actually saw this happen. My stepdad's father was like that. He died at 93, which I feel like is a really good time, not too decrepitly old, depending on how you take care of yourself, right? This is where I'm going with this. And, but the thing is that he had, the only thing that he dealt with, I think, was just some arthritis, as old people would. But he was still living on his own. He was still clear-minded, still driving himself around, still just like a normal person who can have a conversation with you, right? And he was such a fun-loving, easygoing, funny guy. I didn't get to spend a lot of time with him since I don't live in Nebraska, but the few times that I had with him and got to know him a little bit, he was just this funny old guy. And you know what? I was like, that is literal goals. He was still walking around, wasn't wheelchair bound, all that stuff. And I was just inspiring, honestly. So that's what I've always aimed to be in my health journey. And yeah, of course, my short-term goals would be, have a different, transform my physique, be at a healthier body weight, nicer skin, right? So there have been times where I have lost sight of that. I've lost the sight of my goals, my agenda, the things I want for my life at the end of my life. And life has a way of tearing us from our dreams and our agendas by each day, right? Life just does that to you. You do what others want, things distract us from what we want, people get in our way, right? Everyone has been there. So that's what I want to talk about today, is reclaiming your agenda. This comes from a book that I read a long time ago. I'll put it in the show notes because I don't have it in front of me, but yeah, so it's from a book I read a long time ago about motivation. And one of the things they talked about in there was reclaiming your agenda, understanding that you may have lost sight of what you truly want and desire in your life, and taking it back because you have the power. There were so many years that I just absorbed this kind of motivation information. It sounds tacky, it's kind of kitschy maybe or whatever. But it works, of just constantly surrounding yourself by the things that you need to be reminded of. It works. So I want to talk about that today, obviously. And this will be a good thing for you guys to, I'm going to be asking you guys a lot of questions to ask yourself, because they're questions that I need to, here we go again. Anyway, as I was saying, in order to reclaim your agenda, you have to ask yourself a lot of questions and where you lost sight, how you lost sight of what you really want. And obviously I want to talk about this in a health and fitness subject, but it really applies to so much more than that. Your overall general happiness and life satisfaction, right? Because again, life has a way of being easily torn from us day by day. So we need to remember that. And for those I think that we all have those people that we look up to, those who have achieved what we are after. We have those inspirational fitness people, things like that. And something too important, I just got distracted. Something to remember is that those achievements, those personal freedoms, or just greatness that people have achieved come from those who master their day to day, their habits. And Lindsay talks about this a lot. We all do, but I know Lindsay talks about this a lot. It's just your day-to-day habits. It was what gets you closer to what you want in your life. So in that theme of health and fitness, what have you lost sight of? What have you become? But also at the same time, what have you become a slave to that had you lose sight of that agenda that you've had? And how can we tell if we've lacked command of our overall life or our life's agenda? That can be hard, knowing where to start. So ask yourself if there is a lack of true expression or joy or satisfaction in your life or your health or your fitness, whichever area you're struggling with. Because honestly, who would plan a life full of conformity, comfort? Okay, I won't say comfort. I like comfort, depending on how you want to put comfort. Or boredom, fatigue, or just overall dissatisfaction. No one would plan that for themselves, right? For some, it might be this constant denial of their dreams, or fear of failure, or a consistent lack of just general progress. The ultimate tell, really, though, is just that feeling of being trapped. A lot of people find themselves in their lives just feeling trapped. You just get so overwhelmed by having all these personal obligations to work, family, church, friends, parents, whatever it is. Some of us just need to wake up, feel our pulse, and crack that thunder of your individuality. I love that. And some of them be like, no, it's okay. But start by asking yourselves, what is meaningful to you in your life? What is it? Love? Is it family? Taking better care of yourself? It can be everything. It can be one thing. You might be going after these things, let's say your health and fitness, but you may have lost sight of your love life, or being connected to your family in a way that you've desired. Whatever it is, you know the answer. But what agenda have you lost sight with yourself? And when you find that answer, when you feel like you've found it, for one, be gracious with yourself and take a step back and see what you can change to take back your own personal power. I actually am reminded of a little story that I read there's a Facebook group for women in weightlifting. It's not called that, it's called something else. But she posted anonymously, I'm assuming it's a woman, whatever. And she was saying how her and her boyfriend started their weight loss journey together. He's lost this amount of weight, she's lost this amount of weight. He seemingly looks like he's further along in his journey because he lost more weight faster and looks really good. And she had lost a significant amount of weight, and but it wasn't as much as him, right? And she was asking you a question. She was asking what she should do to speed along her process and get closer to her goal, because her boyfriend is being a huge dick and bringing home like fast food and saying like, oh, you can't eat this because you have more weight to lose, or you still have a long way to go, or like, boy, get the F out of here. Can I cuss on this podcast? I think I can. I can. This is mine. I do what I want. Ugh. Anyway. But I made a comment on that, and a lot of people kind of said the same thing, but I made a comment. I was like, do not do anything drastic because of somebody else's dumb ass opinion, right? The best way to lose a lot of weight fast is to get rid of that dick. Boy, like, no, we all, if you have somebody like that in your life, I understand we're all going to make excuses for them, but seriously consider just shutting them out of your life. Drastically, slowly, just whatever it takes to not have that around you anymore, because they will influence us. What do they say? You are what you surround yourself with. It's so true. If you want to be healthy and fit, surround yourself with people who are like that. Surround your Instagram, your TikTok with people who are like that, and you will start to see yourself slowly transform, learn more, and become what you have set out to be. But we all face that drama, right, of balancing our own personal needs and ambitions with those of people who we really love and who we lead or serve, right? That's not always a bad thing. And other people always demand our time and attention, including, again, those who we love and care for, also known as those damn kids. Just kidding, I don't got kids. But think of like all those people in your life, your church, your friends, your family, siblings, partner, your kids, anything and everything in your job. If you say yes to all of them, you will just be annihilated. You'll be buried. And I'm talking to you type 2s. Sorry, this episode is for you guys. But we all can learn from this, right? You know, especially us as women, we tend to be more yes people, but saying no more often than you feel comfortable will help. Unless it's a yes that is in the direction of your goals. And I need to remember this too, you know, when, you know, the fun weekend plans come out, like I can do them, but there are areas where I personally need to say no to. KateLynn, do you want that another glass of wine? Yes. But there's always those areas where you should be saying no to, and because you have that goal in mind, you're taking back your own personal power. This is what this is all about, right? See where you can fit that into your life. You can't just, I mean, I guess some people could just wake up and decide to not give any fucks from anybody or give any fucks and not take shit from anybody. That would be great for some of you. But it's a process, right? Decide that you're not going to let other people's fire drills, right, result in drills of us scratching off your dreams for the day, whether it's for the day or just overall. Those demands of those whimsically needy or terminally ill-prepared people are not our issue. Their lives are not our responsibility. You do have the power. If you're a mom and you have the family, Lindsay talked about this in her episode. Which one was it? It was an earlier one about having a family, but yet having health and fitness goals. Girl, take that power. You are the leader of your household. If you're a stay-at-home mom, you have the power to set schedules. You have the power to set dinner time routines, things like that. It may take some time for everybody to evolve and to get on the same page. You don't need to make some big dramatic announcement like my mother used to do. God bless her. But she would be like, all right, the kitchen's closed at 7 o'clock. We're like, okay, Mom, whatever. But yeah, you don't need to make this big personal, or not personal, but this big family meeting speech or whatever. Just start making changes. And guess what? You are a leader because people will follow you and the mom. It will happen. It can be hard. It will be exhausting. But eventually, as we know anything about as we know anything about habits, is that habits get easier. Right? It gets easier and more mindless as the more we do it. And just harness that power whenever you can. Little bits here, little bits there. Did I just really talk for 20 minutes about all this? I also have to pee, so I feel like I'm talking very fast. Sorry there's no cats today, but I did want to really give you guys a good boost in your tush about this. And, this, again, is for me. There's many areas in my life where I just buckle. Like my boyfriend says, he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He says that all the time. And it's so funny because it's always true when you just give in really fast. It takes time. Give yourself grace. Understand where you can take back your power, your life, whatever it is. You can do it. You can do it. But yeah, if you guys want more encouragement, tips, or advice, coaching questions, we're going to be doing that soon. I have some ideas. I wanted to do a little FFP news corner, but decided to wait until things were a little bit more set in stone. So again, we will be doing those types of episodes, though, where you will be having some coaching questions answered. Eventually down the line, it will be live coaching, so that will be fun. But for now, just email me at the podcast email, the ffppod@gmail.com. Any kind of questions that you have, even if it's like fitness related, coaching related, like health and fitness related, or just life related. Girl, we're here to help you. Nicole's a life coach. I'm a life coach. I don't really know if Lindsay's a life coach, but she's a lot of other good things. She's a minister, so she'll give you a good preaching too. Anyway, that is what I have for all of y'all today. I would love to hear from you inside that Facebook group, so pop in there, click the link in the show notes, because I love to hear from you guys and create more of this little cute, little wonderful, awesome community that we have. Yay! Anyway, until next week, peace out. Thanks for listening to the FFP Alignment Podcast. Please support us by downloading, rating, and recommending us to your friends and family. Be sure to check us out on Instagram at the FitFemme Project. That's FITFEMME Project. And for those of you looking to find their essential balance of lifestyle and fitness, book a free consult by going to thefitfemmeproject.com. That's FITFEMME Project.com and click Apply Now. Until next time, this is the FitFemme Project Alignment Podcast.